Okay. Test. Oh, snap. Let me put the attendance in the chat. Test. I should be hearing something. Oh, I didn't click on the video. There we go. Test. Okay. It's a little bit of a hum on the microphone from the fan, but that's no sweat. Attendance login. We'll just throw this in the chat. We're gonna get started. Copy that. All right. Everything going. All right, man. Let's clap it up, man. Let's start. All right. Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Christian organizations, any other Hebrew Israelite groups, or any other Muslim mosques or Hindu temples. The ISUPK stands alone in this fight, bringing out the truth of the Bible since 1969, teaching every so-called Black, every so-called Hispanic, and every so-called Native American that they are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. They are the people that the Most High cares about more than any other group of people on the planet. You understand? And that is a very profound truth. You know, it's a very profound truth amongst so many lies. You know what I mean? Like we're lied to so much in this hell and in this captivity that we live in, that it is like we almost don't even know what to do when we hear something that's the truth. Like oftentimes, like you ever been lied to so much that you hear the truth and you just have to reject the truth because it just seems so far-fetched and just so bizarre compared to all the lies. It just doesn't match up with the lies, man. But what I love about this truth is it's not just truth. It certainly withstands every barometer. You know what I'm saying? Of is this real? Does this check out? Are these facts? You know what I mean? And this truth stands up to any lie that we've ever been told, man. It stands up. It holds its ground. You know. And again, the lies we get told, man. Jeez, I'm talking about from the time we're babies, right? Like everybody in our lives have done nothing but tell us lies. Now, whether they're lying to us intentionally or they're regurgitating lies that they were told, you understand? Nonetheless, it's all lies. I mean, hell, as a baby, what? You start losing teeth, we get told about a tooth fairy, right? We get told about Santa Claus, right? We get told about the Easter Bunny. I mean, we get told about, white Jesus. You understand? We get told, lies from the time we're born, man, to the time we leave this place. We're pumped full of lies. You watch the news, it's full of lies. Now social media, full of lies. Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, lies here, lies there, man. And the truth is the only thing that's going to actually, benefit our people, man, and actually like cause a real change, you know? So we're gonna really we're gonna get into one of, you know, it's this is sad, but it's really it's just sad for real. A lie that a lot of our people are going to be hearing some of this information for the first time in their lives. You understand? About a lie that we were told as kids. It was so heavily, you know, it was introduced in, you know, by our family members, and then in school it was reinforced. And today we're going to hear some information that's going to like really challenge what we thought we knew about certain things. You understand? Um, Brother, you had a question earlier. I told you to save it for the class. What was that question, brother? If you don't mind.
When somebody tries to say Happy Thanksgiving or whatnot, how respectfully.
Why would people be telling you Happy Thanksgiving?
I don't know. That's tradition.
Right. Is Thanksgiving coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. So, as a part of, you know, this nation, you understand, America, they have this tradition called Thanksgiving, right? I'm gonna answer your question, and then that's gonna lead me right into my topic, right? Thanksgiving is a heathen tradition. You understand? It is a heathen tradition rooted in murder, robbery, betrayal, deceit, uh, genocide, rape, slavery, torture. In the ISUPK, we've learned not to celebrate such things. You understand? We do not celebrate Thanksgiving. Okay? Is everybody clear on that? Is anybody hearing that for the first time? The Most High is against Thanksgiving. And we in the ISUPK, therefore, are against Thanksgiving. Now, again, I'm talking about all of these atrocities. Does anybody know who these atrocities happen to? Thanksgiving? Young man? I mean, Salakia, Trooper Mazerat.
The so-called Native Americans?
Yeah, the so-called Native Americans, man. So all of these atrocities, does anybody know who perpetrated these atrocities or who carried out these atrocities against the Native Americans? Trooper?
Christopher Columbus.
Yes. Was it just him?
No.
Who else?
The other ones he brought over on the boat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
His people. You understand? The European.
Yeah.
You understand? The colonizer. Our so-called oppressor. Right? Now, you hear in our introduction, we teach the truth of the Bible. That every so-called Black, Hispanic, and anybody know? I'm a one. And Native American are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. Those three so-called ethnic groups make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And our Native American brothers, if y'all can see this this 12 tribe sign behind my head, you'll see that the North American Indian is the tribe of Gad, man. That's the tribe of Gad. But then you'll see the Seminole Indian, right? That's like down south, like in the Florida region. That's the tribe of Reuben. You understand? We got the Puerto Ricans, Ephraim. All of these are our relatives. These are our family members, man. These are our people who had these crimes, you know, committed against them for Thanksgiving, for so-called Thanksgiving. Now we're gonna get into the history of Thanksgiving. Like I said, we get lied to, you know, in elementary school. They you know, you do the little Pilgrim and Indian play where the kids got the black hats and some of the kids got the feather hats, and they all shake hands and sit down and smile, and eat together. It was Thanksgiving, right? That's what it was all about. I mean, I could see why our our oppressor would consider it a happy Thanksgiving, right? And I ain't forgot your question, brother. I'm coming right back. I'm coming right around to it right now. I can understand why our oppressor would celebrate such an event, an occasion. I can see why. You understand? Like that was when he came and was, in his words, given pretty much America. You understand? It was just forked over, just handed over. Like, here you go. Thank the way they tell it, the Indians are thankful that the colonizer came over to take everything. You understand? And to kill everyone. Yeah, they're thankful. So we're going to learn the real history of Thanksgiving. It is not what we learned in elementary school or in middle school or in high school, probably even. You understand? Like, I didn't learn the real history of Thanksgiving till I was an adult, man, till I found the truth. I learned it in the ISUPK, what the hell happened with Thanksgiving and why it is so, to participate in the tradition, you have to absolutely lack compassion for human life. You understand? Let alone your family, man. Like it is a disgrace. It is shameful to participate in this tradition. We're gonna get into it, but let me answer your question real quick. So you said, what do you do when people say, Happy Thanksgiving, right? I guess you're leaving off the slavery or something. Some devil or oppressor is just as happy as can freaking be, because they get ready to go celebrate the tradition that their ancestors, celebrated, And again, for them, you don't say anything. It seems rude, man. You're not gonna say it. You just act like you didn't even freaking hear it. That's what I do. I don't even. This Happy Thanksgiving. I keep it moving. You understand? Okay. Now let's say it's a brother in the world. You understand? Jake, old Judite on the slavery. Him not knowing anything. You understand? After today, you're gonna know some things, right? And they'll say, Happy Thanksgiving, brother. And you're gonna be able to tell that, brother. You're gonna be able to use that as an opportunity to maybe highlight that. Nah, what's so happy about Thanksgiving? You understand? Use that as a moment. You know what I mean? To express your point of view in the sense of, I don't see nothing happy about it. You know what I mean? I don't see anything happy about the rape, robbery, and murder of my ancestors. I'm not happy at all. You understand? And then the brother be like, well, why not? And then you start, you go into the history of Thanksgiving, and some brothers have never thought of it that way. Some brothers have never thought of Thanksgiving as something bad, because they're full of nostalgia. Anybody know what nostalgia is? No sweat. Nostalgia is that warm feeling you get when you think about the past and, things that happened in the past, events, you know what I mean? Like the good times, It's, yeah, people are just nostalgic over like family, gatherings and things like that. But again, ignorantly, we've been destroyed, man. We've been destroyed, and we've followed after our oppressor, and we've rooted for them and cheered for them, as a result of Stockholm syndrome. You understand? And we're still plagued with this today. All right. So let's get a couple scriptures, then we'll get into the history, and then we'll get back into the scriptures, and Hopefully it'll be clear by the end of this class, okay? We clear on that question, brother? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Edomite or, some heathen tell you happy Thanksgiving, ignore them. Act like you don't hear them. You understand? And then some brother in the world tell you happy Thanksgiving ignorantly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, engage in some dialogue, about, man, I don't see what's so happy. You know what I mean? And keep it moving. You ain't even necessarily got to go into it. Just certainly don't say happy Thanksgiving, whatever you do. You understand? And that's about that. Someone closer to you, you know what I mean? Someone you deal with regularly. I would certainly take that as an opportunity to represent our point of view on the matter. But as far as, some Edomite, man, just ignore them. Let them feel that. You understand? And then if they ask you, hey, man, I said happy Thanksgiving, dude. You know what? Then take the opportunity to tell them, I don't know what's so happy about it. The Native American, Native Americans would consider it a happy Thanksgiving. And then walk off on them. You understand? Like, again, just be angry tomorrow. Yeah, be a little bit angry tomorrow. You understand? Do you know that this month is Indigenous Peoples Month? Wrap your head around that. This month is Indigenous Peoples Month. Ironic, right? Do you know what the Native Americans consider tomorrow? You know what they do on Thanksgiving Day? It is a national day of mourning. Some contrast there, ain't it? Big difference, ain't it? I don't call it Thanksgiving anymore. I call it thanks-taking. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened. I mean, you look at like the Native Americans today, what few are left of them are on reservations to this day. Like some 90% of the Native American population were obliterated upon the arrival and development, you know what I mean, of the colonial, the colonizer. The more they came over here and set up, the more that the Native American population dwindled to the tune of about 90%. You understand? So let me get Hosea 4:6. Y'all should know this by heart now. Well, we're gonna pull it. You brothers getting familiar with these scriptures? Yeah, I know you're gonna get familiar when you get to it. Oh yeah, I know that one. Let me know when you got it. Just raise your hand or start reading. Go ahead.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Who?
My people.
My people. Who's my people?
Tribes of Israel.
The 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? My people are what?
Destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Are what?
Destroyed.
For what?
Lack of knowledge.
Man, we destroyed because we just don't know anything. You understand? We don't have any wisdom. Like what do you know if everything you know is a lie? What do you really know? You know a million lies. What do you really know? Huh? You know what you will be? Destroyed. You understand? It's like the more lies you know and subscribe to, the more you'll be destroyed, man. And that's our people, man. We are so destroyed. We are so destroyed. And again, that destruction, you can't always point this out. like Stockholm syndrome is like a staple of like you can't be any more destroyed and left living. You know what I mean? Like you could be destroyed and killed, but to be destroyed and still living, like Stockholm syndrome is about as bad as it gets. Everyone knows what Stockholm syndrome is. Someone tell me what Stockholm syndrome is, just in case. Aliyah?
Somebody abuses you, but you still love them.
Come on, give brother a hand. That was close enough. Stockholm syndrome is a condition that comes about when someone takes someone else captive and they hold them captive and they keep them in that captive and destroy it, like, and that captive state for so long that person that they've captured starts like psychologically just become so tortured and abused and terrorized and tormented that things get so twisted that they start to develop an affinity or a love for the person that's captured them. Does that make sense? And this is something that can happen small scale. This is something that has happened large scale. You understand? If you think about slavery and the torture and the abuse of people who've been enslaved under this oppressor, all of us have, resorted to serving and worshiping our oppressor and loving our oppressor and doing everything that our oppressor loves. You understand? Like, and it's not, sometimes it's not, like if you were to ask some people, hey man, you love your oppressor? They're going to say no. You know, well, a Christian's going to say, yeah, let me backstep that. A Christian's going to say, yeah, I love everybody, right? But you take even some hardcore brothers that's like, nah, I know the white man ain't, the oppressor ain't jack. You know what I'm saying? I know he ain't nothing, right? They're going to say they don't love him. But then guess what they're going to do tomorrow? They're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. Guess what they're going to do on the 4th of July? They're going to the barbecue and shooting off fireworks, man. You understand? So it's one of those weird things where with like a person who's suffering from Stockholm syndrome doesn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like to them, it's justified. And we as a people, man, we justify why we do what our oppressor does. You understand? Like I've had arguments with family members, man, about, Thanksgiving. I've had the arguments, man. Do you think they stop celebrating Thanksgiving? They can't. They cannot. You understand? They acknowledge how it's messed up, but it's just something about it. They just can't not do it. And that's a tough way to go about it, man. Let me get Proverbs 3:31 real quick. Proverbs 3:31. When you get it, just go ahead and start reading it. Nice and loud.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Do what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou what?
Not the oppressor.
Not. Envy thou not the oppressor, man. Don't love your oppressor. Don't want to be like your oppressor. Keep reading.
And choose none of his ways.
Do what?
Choose none of his ways.
Some.
None of his ways.
All.
None.
Thanksgiving.
None of his ways.
Christmas.
None.
Halloween.
None.
4th of July.
None.
Easter.
None of his
Christmas.
ways. None.
Birthdays.
None.
Valentine's.
None.
Come on, man. Choose none of his ways. The Most High, it is against the Most High's laws to have Stockholm syndrome. Get that out of you, man. Like, purge yourself of that. Purge yourself of wanting to do things that your oppressor does when your oppressor does it. Like people swear they're not in slavery no more, right? They swear this ain't captivity. But your slave master says, eat turkey on the 25th, on Thursday. Eat that turkey. And what are people going to do, man? They're going to eat that turkey, man. They're like, all right, here we go. Another little tidbit. Do people cook turkeys in the oven any other time of year? Like, no, do people like hold turkey in the oven? What is 5, 6, 8 hours, however long? I know it's crazy, ridiculous amount of time for a turkey. You know, do people cook whole turkeys any other time of year? I mean, if it's such a delicious meal that you just must have with Big Mama, right? She only serving that up once. They do it at Christmas too, right? Don't they do the turkey at Christmas too? Or am I mixing something up? They do it at Christmas too. So you get, your oppressor tells you to eat turkey 2 times a year, and our people have not called in once. like who outside of incarceration or deployment in Esau's military has missed Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, man? Oh man. And I'm gonna be real with you too, right? Like, yo, maybe it's just me, right? Because again, I wasn't always in the truth. I've had my fair share of turkey. Is it just me, or is there something suffocating about eating that turkey, yo? Is it something that like almost like chokes you? Like it's just I don't know if it's just because it's dry. Like even if it ain't dry, it's something about turkey that as you're like it like makes it hard to breathe when you're eating it, yo. Like it like suffocates you. I mean, I'm just saying. But our people are so destroyed. You understand? And our people envy our oppressor so much. We have to celebrate specifically his, victory and his good fortune. You understand? His conquest, his victory. Like we have to celebrate it. Listen, man. It's high time we wake up to the truth, man. Wake up to the truth of this Bible, that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel, and that a heinous crime was committed against. Of course, we all know about, the so-called Negro and in their experience in America. But it's so easy. Our oppressor is so cunning in the way he's whitewashed history. You understand? And used propaganda to really cover up what was done to the Native Americans upon his arrival to this land, man. I'm talking about, again, genocide. Anybody know what genocide is? I said it earlier and didn't see if anybody know what it meant. Anybody know what genocide is? Aliyah? Genocide is like the extinction or termination of an entire race of people. You understand? And that was certainly attempted, you understand, by the colonizer, our oppressor, against our brothers, man. Listen, all right. So I guess we're going a little bit into the history. We kind of touched it a little bit. But in 1620, the so-called Pilgrims, the Europeans, they came to Plymouth, and this wasn't even like Columbus. Like this wasn't even the first like people to come over here from Europe. You understand? This was just this is what our oppressor paints as the ones who participated in the first Thanksgiving, right? So it was some European pilgrims. They came to Plymouth after kind of like going up the coast and trying to stop at all these other different places, nothing was suiting them. But somehow they stopped at Plymouth, right, which is up near Massachusetts, right? And they were pretty much in bad shape. Like half of their crew members had died. I think it was like supposed to be 80 some of them. They were down to like 40 some people, and they were just in terrible shape. They had dying of, you know, the weather, the cold, scurvy, and all of that. And they say that the Native Americans pretty much saw them suffering and pretty much just came and was like, no, don't die. Here, have some food, have some clothes. Here, we'll teach you how to grow this food and clothes. Look, you put it in the dirt like this, right? Cover it up, put water on it. So then by next year, 1621, these Europeans had crops. They had a harvest. They had things that grew. And because they had things that grew, it was so plenteous, they in turn invited the Native Americans that helped them to come through. We're going to have a 3-day feast. And everybody just got along happily ever after the end. Ain't that how it goes in elementary school? Ain't that pretty? Well, they didn't talk about them being, you know, dying and stuff. But, I mean, the Indians, you know, they just came and just were friendly and just had a good time. And that was it. But the real history is that there was some war or some conflict between certain Native American tribes. And it was like some political things going on to where they kind of wanted to, how do I say it? They thought it would behoove them to allow these European settlers to try to like make allies with them. You understand? So that's why they kind of, you know, and those colonists with the pilgrims, they were like already ravaging their stores. You know what I'm saying? Like they were already digging up their little food stores, and they were digging up the graves. You understand, of their leaders. You know, their ancestors that were buried. They were just ruthless and savage, man. So again, they thought it would behoove them to kind of try to make an alliance with these people, because they weren't the first Europeans to come over here. They had experiences with these colonizers. You understand? They had experience with these Europeans. There was a brother named Squanto who actually served as a translator between the Native Americans and the settlers. You understand? They're like, wait a minute, how does brother know English? You know, like brother know English, and you know, they basically Squanto had been kidnapped like 7 years earlier, taken to Europe, you understand, as a slave, and then snuck his way onto another boat that came back over and then escaped. You understand? So just the history, they knew the history of these people. And again, they tried to, you know, make allies with these folks, man. But you can't make allies with, you know what I'm saying, a people who, you know, hate you. You understand? And care nothing about you. So yeah, I mean, it's do we have to talk about all the treaties? That there was something to the tune of about 300 and some treaties that were signed, 360 some treaties, man, about where, okay, we're gonna you ever heard the term bury the hatchet? You know what I mean? Like bury the hatchet. Well, that comes from one of the treaties that was signed between the Native Americans and you know, the colonists or the government at this point, the European government, well, the American government at this point. Again, they signed this treaty where, all right, we're not gonna attack you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pretty much, there's no need for war. We could take these hatchets and bury them. because you're not going to hurt us. We're not going to hurt you. We're just going to peacefully coexist. And did that happen? You understand? Yeah, shocker. Spoiler alert. None of the treaties that were signed were honored. You understand? Like it was a classic European okey doke. You understand? Of non-European folks. Okay. And again, 90% of the Native American population terminated. You understand? Terminated upon this so-called friendship and alliance, and this let's God loves everybody, and you look at there's all kinds of like records about how they tried to literally like exterminate these people off the face of the planet, man. Like have you heard about how the oppressor like killed all these buffalo like pretty much to extinction, because that was like one of the main food sources and clothing sources that were being used? So they were saying, like, if we kill all the buffalo, then what are they going to have? They'll starve to death and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, our oppressor is a cunning, ridiculous hunter. You know what I mean? Like, he literally is an expert at killing living things. You understand? There's history about how the oppressor would behead the Native Americans. They would behead them and then like have the head out on like a stake in front of the town or the village or whatever. The kids would take the head and they would play soccer with it in the streets. They'd be kicking the damn head up and down the street. And this was okay. This was fine. Yeah, there's all kinds of, war trail of tears. I mean, it's just like step outside of that Thanksgiving dinner and look at the history between Native Americans and the European. And there aren't many good stories, man. Like there aren't many friendly, like, there's zero compassion. And the king, there was a war, King Philip's, the King Philip's War. That involved the colonizer and some Native Americans. I think the Pequot Native Americans. And again, the oppressor is such a liar, claimed that some Pequot Native Americans had murdered a few of our colonists. So we're going to retaliate and kill and burn down the whole village, kill the women and the children, you understand, and just destroy everything because you killed a couple of our kids, you know what I mean, a couple of our people. And again, like, our oppressor would never blame, our oppressor would never justify him attacking someone. He would never justify it by claiming that you threatened them first. Would he? Rittenhouse? Huh? What's them other dudes? The dudes that killed Ahmaud Arbery. I'm terrible with names. Ahmaud Arbery. They just found them dudes guilty. But their whole defense was he was trying to hurt us and kill us. He had no choice. We talking about the same people. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's the same spirit. That same spirit that entitled, this group of people to come over here and just to take the land and the resources and take the lives and to just drive these people Like all the reservations are on the West Coast. They landed here on the East Coast, right? Full of Native Americans. There are no more Native Americans on the East Coast. They're all on reservations. Washington, California. They're all out west, man. They just drove them out, man. Your whole heritage, your whole history, your whole family, your ancestors, your whole way of living, everything that you're used to for generations. Yeah, get out of here. Excuse us. We'll be taking this. What the hell's to be thankful for? Huh? Someone let me get yeah, we got a couple of them. Let me get Ecclesiastes 7:7. Get Ecclesiastes 7:7 real quick. You got it? Let's hear it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Again?
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, man. If you're a wise man, if you got any smarts about you, when you think about oppression, it will piss you off. You understand? It'll make you angry. And again, because a wise man has what's called compassion. Compassion. And that's something that you won't find outside of the ISUPK. The ISUPK will teach you to be compassionate and not so damn selfish and just focused on yourself. You understand? Like hell, we so destroyed, we ain't even compassionate for ourselves half the time. Huh? We literally try to kill ourselves day in and day out, don't we? Drug abuse, huh? Illicit sex, murder, huh? Like we smoke, we suffer from alcoholism, we pop pills, we have abortions twice a year. You know, like we don't even have compassion on ourselves. How could we have compassion for a relative? You understand? Let alone a distant relative. Yeah, we're not taught that. The Christian church will teach you to forget it. You understand? The Christian church will teach you to hold hands and eat this food, man. Eat this abomination, man. Eat it and enjoy the day. Be thankful today. Be thankful that your oppressor came and stole an entire continent from God's chosen people, man. Be thankful, man. There's a scripture I didn't write down, but we surely gonna touch it. Read that again.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Go ahead.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
A gift destroys the heart, man. So because there's food on today, guess what? Guess who ain't mad? Guess whose heart? You know what I mean? What they said, the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. What? You feed that brother on Thanksgiving, he could care less what happened to our ancestors, man. You put some dry turkey, and I don't even know what cranberry sauce is. Is that what cranberries? I don't like cranberry anything. Cranberry sauce. I remember the first time I had it, I thought it was Jello. It looked like Jello or jelly. You know, like I said, what the bitter is this? Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to eat that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think you're supposed to eat that, but whatever. Yeah, man. Oppression is supposed to piss you off, man, make you mad. You understand? But our people, we get a little gift, man. We get a day off from work. Are we mad now? No, man. Life couldn't be sweeter. But in the ISUPK, we're wise men. You understand? We're wise women. We will be mad tomorrow. From like the lingering oppression. Like this happened in 1621. You understand? 1620, 1621. I mean, it's still the effects of it still linger today. You understand? That's why Karen on your job is couldn't be happier. about that casserole she's cooking, for tomorrow. You understand? That bean casserole with the crumbs on it. Couldn't be happier, Oh, man. Let me get Psalms 55 and 20. Psalms 55 and 20. We're going to learn about this. You understand? Like, we're ready to paint a picture of how if you subscribe to the Bible, if you know the Bible, if you read the Bible, if you serve the Most High, you'll understand what this holiday is and where you should stand with it. Someone got that? Psalm 55 and 20. Go ahead.
Psalm 55, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Say that again.
He hath put forth his hands.
He has put forth his hands. Anybody know what that means? He has put forth his hands. He hath put forth his hands. No. Read the rest of it.
Against such as be at peace with him.
Read that again from the top.
He hath put forth his hands.
Against.
Against.
He has put forth his hands against. Go ahead.
Against such as be at peace with him.
Against such as be at peace with him. So there are people who are at peace with this person, but he gonna put his hand against them. Anybody seeing what's happening here? What's happening here?
I'm trying to take over political stuff. Like with the treaties and all that stuff there.
You said an important word, the treaties. Read that again from the top.
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
He has put forth his hand. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. So there are people who is at peace with him, and he put his hand against them, man. Read that last part.
He hath broken his covenant.
He hath done what?
Broken his covenant.
His treaty.
His covenant.
You understand? So our oppressor has these peace treaties with the Native Americans, and instead of honoring those treaties, he's putting his hands on them, man. He's murdering them, man. He's driving them out. He's starving them. He's giving them blankets infested with smallpox. You understand? Here you go. Keep reading.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Oh, he can slick talk. Oh, he'll write up that treaty. That treaty gonna sound real good. Those promises are gonna sound real nice. You understand? Oh, it's gonna sound so eloquent, and man, you're gonna feel like you can't lose. You're gonna feel like you certainly have, been come out on top of this deal, right? Keep reading.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
War was in his heart.
But war was in his heart, man. Oh, he gonna talk about how peaceful we gonna be, man. We're gonna get along. You gonna have your stuff, and we're gonna have ours. We ain't gonna bother you. You just let us have our little situation here, and everything's gonna be fine, man. We're gonna have, we all gonna thrive together. We all gonna eat. We all gonna eat, man. It's okay. But what was in his heart?
War.
War was in his heart. Is a mystery who this is talking about? It's a mystery about what relevance this scripture has to Thanksgiving. And those 300 and some treaties that our oppressors, presidents broke against our relatives. Go ahead. Stop doing that.
His words were softer than oil.
His words were what?
Softer than oil.
Listen, man, when he talks, when he explains things to you, when he tells you about this contract, oh, it's going to sound like an excellent deal, man. Go ahead.
Yet were they drawn swords.
What were those words?
Drawn sword.
Drawn swords, man. He might as well been telling you, yeah, you know we gonna kill all of y'all, right? That's what he might as well wrote on the paper. You understand? This is in the Bible. I'm not making this up. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 7. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 7. We're going to see if we should celebrate, or participate in this heathen tradition. Someone got it?
I got Ephesians chapter 5, verse 7.
Go ahead.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
Do what?
Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them. What does it mean to be a partaker? Sis?
Take part in something that they're doing.
Give her a hand. Most High in Christ. It says, be not ye therefore partakers with them. That's saying don't participate with them. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Hold on. And this is important for everybody that's in this classroom. You understand? And everybody in the ISUPK understands this, okay? But for you all in this classroom, listen very carefully to this. Go ahead.
For ye were sometimes darkness.
For ye were sometimes darkness. You used to be wicked. Huh? You used to be wicked. You used to do evil things, right? You used to be in the dark. You used to be clueless. You used to not know any better. Everybody understand that? Read that again from the top.
For ye were sometimes darkness.
Go ahead.
But now are ye light in the Lord.
Are ye what?
Light in the Lord.
Now you're light in the world. So what does that mean? That you're light in the Lord. If you used to be in darkness, used to be wicked, used to not know any better, used to be clueless, used to not have any clue, any wisdom, but now you're light in the Lord. What is that? You're wise. Get a brother a hand. Now you're wise. Now you're not only wise, now you're doing the right things. You understand? What does light do to darkness? Like what is the purpose of light? Period.
So you can see.
So people can see. You understand? Like you got light, people can see. Go ahead.
Walk as children of light.
Do what?
Walk as children of light.
Talk.
Walk as children of light.
Listen, man. You have a responsibility, a burden now. You understand? You have to represent yourself as such. You understand? Like you can't be clueless now. Everybody understand that? You can't be wicked now. You have to do what you know is the right thing to do. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth.
Again.
For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth.
The fruit of the Spirit. Like the things that, how do I say this? The things that come about because of our conduct. You understand? People know what's in your spirit because of what you do. You understand? Like, because of what we do and don't do, people know that we serve the God of this Bible. You understand? According to what he says. Your actions. Like your actions, you're like the fruit is what you do. It's what you produce. It's what you bring about. It's your actions. It's your behavior. All right? Keep reading.
Verse 10, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
So what we do, like our actions, is what shows people who are in darkness what is acceptable to the Most High. When we're young in the truth, the simplest thing you can do is do what you see other brothers and sisters doing, and don't do what you don't see other brothers and sisters doing. You understand? Like you might have a million questions, you know what I'm saying? But just from observation, you see brothers do this, know that is, you see brothers in the ISUPK doing this, know that is something that you should be doing. You don't see brothers or sisters doing this in the ISUPK, know that this is something you probably shouldn't be doing. Does that make sense? Read that again. Verse 10.
Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
Again, that's why it's so hard. Like this walk can be hard because we can't take no days off, man. Like us not taking a day off proves what is acceptable to the Most High. It is unacceptable to take a day off from serving the Most High. You understand? Like it is unacceptable to say, you know what, today I'm feeling like a ham sandwich, baby. That's unacceptable, man. That does not prove what is acceptable to the Lord. What does prove what is acceptable to the Lord is against all opposition, against all pressure, against all invitations, against all phone calls and text messages asking you, you coming to the dinner? You coming to Thanksgiving? Grandma gonna be there. She making them yams. She's making that ham. Come on, man, you gotta come. Your cousin gonna be there. Against all of that, you have to say, no, I'm not like, I'm not taking a day off from serving the Most High, man. I'm not going to go against him today nor any day. And you know what happens over time? People in your family, people that try to get you to do wicked, they realize that what you're standing on and what you're fighting for is something so substantial. You understand? It is something so righteous and so glorious that you refuse to take a day off from it. What time does Thanksgiving dinners usually start? Like 3 o'clock? You won't take off from 3 to 5? No. You understand? Our actions prove what is acceptable. Because we're in the light, we know what we should do. People in darkness don't know what they should do. So they have to see us and just do what we do. So if we celebrate Thanksgiving, they're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. But they have to see that we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, man. I don't care what the menu is. I don't care who's coming in from out of town. I don't care about none of that, man. Keep reading.
Verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Again.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Again.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Listen, what they're doing tomorrow is a dark thing. You understand? It is a heathen tradition. We are not to envy our oppressor and choose any of his ways, right? It is a dark thing, man. We are not going to fellowship with them, man. They will be without us tomorrow. I pray you understand, right? Like they will not see us. It will not be, an appearance. It will not be, oh, just stop by, just get a plate to go. No, it will be none of that. You understand? Let me get we're going a little bit over in time, but we'll be all right. Let's get Amos 5:21. Amos 5:21. We're not going to go over by much, but we're going to go over a little bit. Amos 5:21. Quickly. Nice and loud.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
Go ahead.
I hate.
What?
I hate.
The Most High hates? No, man. Christian church teach God love everything and everybody. Huh? God ain't got no time to be hating. He's all powerful and, everything. We ain't worried about hating nobody. He ain't got no emotions. Read that again.
I hate.
Go ahead.
I despise your feast days.
He hates what?
I despise your feast days.
He despises what?
Feast days.
He despises your feast days, man. That Thanksgiving, that feast, how's the Lord feel about it? He despises it, man. He hates it. And if he hates it, guess who else hates it? You understand? Why wouldn't you hate it? Yeah, well, if God hates it, I sure enough hate it. But I mean, just looking at the history of it, how can you not hate this feast day? How can you not hate this feast day, man? This ain't even a hard one to hate. Like this ain't even a hard one. This one's disgusting, man. This is it's so egregious, and just the evidence of the whitewashing of it, the propaganda to kind of make it like, oh, ain't nothing really happened here. You know, like it reminds me of how the way that they kind of like said, oh yeah, this whole colonization thing was a friendly event, right? We have America now because the Indians wanted us to have it. What? That reminds me of how now they're trying to call, you guys familiar with the transatlantic slave trade? They're trying to change that terminology to the transatlantic migration. You understand? To where they're kind of making it like our ancestors wanted to come over here. You understand? It was a choice. Like they wanted to come over here and be in servitude to such cruel masters. You understand? And to such conditions. They opted for it. They freaking asked for it. You know they'll be freaking celebrating that one day down the line. They're going to be celebrating it like, what slavery? What whips and chains and auction blocks? No, we just brought black people over here and they work for us, and now they play basketball. Now they rap. What? Nothing happened. You know how, like, that's our oppressor is a very subtle beast, man. Like, he's very subtle and very cunning. And we got to wake up to that, man. We can't stay lulled to sleep by the little gifts that he gives us, like a day off. You understand? And some damn salmonella turkeys. You know, foodborne illnesses, right? Cases of food poisoning spike tomorrow. Anybody shocked by that realization? You know that food that sits out beyond 2 hours, you understand, starts to develop bacteria that will make you sick, man. Now, I've been to more than one Thanksgiving dinner, and that food sits out for longer than 2 hours. That plate, listen, and the people bring the food that they cook 2 hours. Like, listen, you're going to get sick tomorrow. And listen, that takes me to I don't want to say my last scripture. It is going to be my last scripture. Revelation 18:4. There is another one I want to get up in there. There's another one I want to get in there. Someone got 18:4. Someone else grab Revelation 13:10 real quick. I'll tell you what. If you want to have any inkling or any type of feel good or any type of happy tomorrow, let it rest in this scripture right here, this 13:10. Actually, we're going to hold that till the end. You got 18:4 from me? Let's get that.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4.
Go ahead.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
what did it say?
Come out of her.
Do what?
Come out of her.
Come out of her, man. This is talking to the children of Israel, man, telling us to come out of her. Who's the her? The world, man. Like the people of the world, the other nations, the other customs, the other traditions. You understand? Their practices and their cultures. Come out. Don't stop doing that nonsense. Come out of her. Go ahead.
My people.
Go ahead.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
That you do what?
Be not partakers of her sin.
Don't, as the sister said earlier, don't participate in her sin. This is a wicked thing to do, to cheer tomorrow and have celebration feast, over what happened to our ancestors, man. Over about what happened to our family, man. Like who's the young brother that just got shot? Young Dolph, right? Like imagine his family celebrating the day the day he got shot. Or because imagine the person who shot him, whoever it was, right? They the day they shot him, they ate ice cream cone, right? And every year, that person that shot him eats an ice cream cone. Imagine young Dolph's family on the day he died now start eating ice cream cone every day. Every year on the anniversary, eating ice cream cone because the person that killed young Dolph eats ice cream cone. Do you see how sick and twisted that is? Do you see how disgraceful and shameful that is? And traitorous? That's not love, man. That's hate. Go ahead.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
That foodborne illness. You understand? That foodborne illness. You receive it not of her plagues, man. You're gonna get sick as a dog eating that nasty undercooked turkey. You're supposed to cook the thing for like 12 hours, man. And they try to cook it in 6 because everybody's coming over, or they try to cook it in 4. They bought a bit. Listen, how big that turkey is matters how much you got to cook it for, right? Per pound or something like that. But they always rushing because our people ain't never on time. So they rushing it. You can't turn the heat up higher and cook it for a shorter amount of time. That's not how it works. You understand? You just gonna burn the outside while the inside is still pink and slimy. And you just talking about that's dark meat. No, that's raw meat. You're gonna make everybody sick. Everybody gonna be sick. And tell me you haven't experienced that sickness, man. That's not itis, man. That's you coming down with a fever, yo. That's you coming down with a fever, yo. You sick, man. That potato salad been sitting out for 4 hours. You understand? You're sick. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Read that again.
The whole thing.
Just that last be not that you be not. It's like it.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
And that you receive not of her plagues, man. You don't want and again, that you receive not of her plagues, man. You don't want to be on their team when and get the consequences. Does that make sense? If that don't make sense, if that salmonella, you understand, and that foodborne illness and that food poisoning and that nausea and that vomiting and that diarrhea don't drive the point home. Someone got that 13 and 10 for me? Revelation 13 and 10. Oh yeah. You like that one? Let's hear it.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 10.
If you're gonna be if there's anything to rejoice in tomorrow, rejoice in this revelation and this prophecy here. You understand? Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity.
Again.
He that leadeth into captivity.
Rejoice in the idea and the fact that he that leadeth into captivity, the ones who took our people and enslaved them and shipped them to Europe and shipped them all across the country and worked the death out of them. You understand? Worked the life out of them, worked them to death. Go ahead.
Shall go into captivity.
Shall do what?
Shall go into captivity.
Rest in the fact that on this day, when Christ returns, on Thanksgiving Day, all of the ancestors of those pilgrims that murdered our people and just did heinous acts to our people, son. It'll be their turn. You understand? Read that again from the top.
He that leadeth into captivity.
Because he that leadeth into captivity, he that thanks taken? You understand? He that, thanks taken. Go ahead.
Shall go into captivity.
Shall go into captivity, man. Like the table turns. You understand that? They're going to pay for the crimes that were committed. You don't want to be sitting there celebrating with them and then get caught up with them when they get caught up. Does that make sense? Is that a little more clear? Keep reading.
He that killeth with the sword.
He that what?
Killeth with the sword.
Listen, he that scalps. You understand? They scalped our people, man. Cut their heads off, put them on poles, kick them down the street. Go ahead.
Must be killed with the sword.
Must be what?
Killed with the sword.
What they did to us must be done to them, man. You don't want to be on their team when things get flipped around. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to be having, you don't want to get mistaken as them. Go ahead.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Here is the patience and faith of the saints. So just be patient. You understand? Remember these atrocities tomorrow, right? And then just be patient, man, and have faith that our ancestors will, you know, those crimes will be answered for, man. Our ancestors will be avenged, right? And again, it'll be the Lord that does it. You understand? So I ain't telling you go out there and do nothing, take nothing into your own hands. Hell, all I'm asking you to do is don't eat no, forget the function tomorrow. You understand? Forget the turkey, forget the macaroni and cheese, right? Forget that nonsense tomorrow, man. You understand? I think I covered all of it. The last thing I wanted to cover from it, though, that would have been a good place to stop. But you know the cornucopia? You guys familiar with that? That little horn basket with all the fruits and stuff in it. It's like the yes, man.
They used to call that horn of plenty when I was in school.
Most time, give her a hand. Yeah, but you know that's like the symbol for Thanksgiving, right? They use that cornucopia, which is also it translates as the horn of plenty. That's a Greek, like that's from some Greek mythology, man, dealing with Zeus and what's her name? Fortuna. You understand, like good fortune and stuff like that. Again, it's not even it's also tied to the worship of other gods, man. And we all know that the Most High ain't with that. You understand? So again, man, should our people be, participating in this tradition or partaking in this tradition? The Most High's chosen people who were the victims of this tradition. Should we participate in it? La. And with that, I'm going to say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shabarak Thumb to the Akim, Yahweh Shamar Alathun Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai to the Akwathian. And with that, Shalom, Israel.